Monday Live, guys! It's Monday Live with MJ and Attorney Hermes, your source of good news where you start your week on a brighter side. We introduce to you guys what Check This Out That Pro is all about, which is SEPs. Spiritual, emotional, physical, and our last topic this week, which is about social wealth. So we're basically complete with our SEPs, the spiritual, emotional, physical, and social wealth. And very important topic, are we sociable? Do we know how to talk to people? Do we know how to make friends? And most importantly, at the later side of our topic, which Attorney Hermes is going to talk to you about, are we able to make money out of our social wealth? Isn't it important? Okay, so the very first crucial days in the development of our social wealth, which is also partly emotional wealth, is our brain. On the first 1,000 days of our life here on earth, especially if you have babies right now, is very, very crucial in brain development. What it does is, the faster our brain develops is on age 1 day to 1,000 days, which is 1 year old to 3 years old. 75% of our brain is being fed and developed by the food that we eat. So meaning a lot of breastfeeding from moms and a lot of healthy food. 75% of that food goes to our brain. And what happens is 80% of our brain is developed in this age, between 1 to 3 years old, or first 1,000 days of our years. So why is brain important in our social wealth? You know that the very measurement of our brain development is making sure that the baby is looking at you and recognizing something, an object or a person. That's already being sociable at age 0 or 1 month. So your brain develops if we practice recognition of people, recognition of objects. And what happens now, if we do recognize the objects as we grow older, 1 year old, 2 year old, and 3 years old. So how is being sociable and social wealth is developed, and how is it gonna help our children and the kids of today? A lot of us does not know how to communicate, does not know even how to react and feel in an appropriate situation. We help them develop it between age 1 to 1,000 days. We're not going to be talking about all the ways and means, but Hopkins Medicines, 0to3.org, UNICEF will talk about peekaboo and hide and seek. Guys, the secret for social wealth is play peekaboo and hide and seek with your children, because at this age they actually are into egocentric thinking. We have to detach them from being egoistic to being sociable at that age. What it means is we have to play with them. We have to share with them the value of taking turns. Like those kids are playing, they need to value taking turns in that swing, or else other children are not able to play. And also the value of sharing, like sharing tasks, simple tasks that they cannot break a certain object, so they can help you fold laundry. That is a sense of also helping kids develop social skills. While it is important, social skill is in our day-to-day life, parents and elderly siblings should model really the value of sharing and taking turns at home. We want to make sure that children sees you in a good example, because this is the stage where they really copy you. They're real copycat. They're very observant. Once they do mirror good things that you do and they do it themselves, we have to recognize it and appreciate it, like saying you did a great job, because that mirror line of recognition and appreciation, it will imprint in the kid's brain that he is actually worthy of something, and it develops self-esteem. The secret to developing confidence, guys, is very simple: hugs and kisses. That's appropriate, decent relationship and relating your emotions with the baby. Hugs and kisses would help your kids develop trust, develop confidence. If your kid is signaling his or her hands up and you pick him or her up, it's a sign of developing trust as well. So trust that is being developed will lead to confidence. We need confidence, right, for social skills. Lastly, social wealth are just three things according to Vanderbilt. You just need to listen, you just need to know how to share and take turns and just be nice. How are we gonna make money out of social skills? Let's hear from our money doc, Attorney Hermes.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? That was a wonderful message by MJ. I love the background and the strategy and the knowledge that kids learn so much information at such young ages. And as a psychology major, I did a little bit of child psychology. It wasn't necessarily the developmental years, but I can understand that the brain of a child is like a sponge. God forbid you say something, they're going to repeat it. You have to always be repeating the right things. That's why MJ was talking about say thank you, say great job to your child when they do a great job. Or doing something well in soccer, or they're doing something well in basketball or dance. Let them know how well they're doing, because that'll be very important in their own developmental psyche. Flash forward, how does that affect us today? We're talking about how the social skills needed for business, for relationships, whether it's personal relationships, business relationships, family. A lot of people don't get along with their families, and we're talking right now about the Christmas spirit, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the season, and a lot of families, they don't really ever interact. I'm very fortunate. All my family, we get along really well because we communicate well, and we had great developmental years. One of the things you have to really worry about is when you're communicating with somebody, how well are you persuading your own point? You're not trying to persuade them into something they don't want to hear or don't want to do, but you have to be very persuasive in your own arguments when you're trying to put forth something that you truly believe in. And if you understand psychology, if you understand human nature, if you understand that you have to have good reputation and good character, those are the foundations for your social wealth. Because if you don't have those things, people aren't going to trust you. People are not going to interact with you properly. When we're talking to individuals, we're talking to clients, we're talking to neighbors, we're talking to whoever it is that at that moment, you really need to utilize your social skills. A lot of people think it's an introvert versus extrovert thing. That's not true. Introverts can be very social at parties. Extroverts can be very not social at parties. It's just where they derive their energy from. If you're at a party, let me ask you this. What is the first thing you do when you see a crowd of people you do not know? Do you stop? Do you sit on the side? Do you get a drink? Or do you actually go meet people? It's very important if you're at a social gathering, if you're at a networking gathering, if we're talking about business now and making money, and how you can build relationships, we have to really be able to step out there and make the first move. It's kind of like dating. The guy, in the traditional sense, the guy would always go ask the girl out, and he was real nervous. Did he want to make that phone call? Did he want to go over to her and ask her at the dance? That just keeps perpetuating. If you don't overcome that, you're always going to be that way. You need to go over, if you're at a networking event, you need to go and meet as many people in the room as possible. That just means you go up and you start the conversation. How good are you in starting conversations with people you don't know? I'm not the most articulate person in the world. I do really well, but I'm very good at just starting conversations with anybody. I've been at luncheons, sitting and having lunch with the owner of UGG Boots, had a great conversation with him. I've met owners of other companies, had great conversations with them, but I've also had great conversations with just people. One of the things my grandfather, and this is tying back to what MJ was talking about, mirroring, we would go to dinner. And my grandfather would always ask the waiter, who cooked my meal? And he didn't just want to know who cooked his meal. He had invested interest in to learn who that person was. He would actually ask to see if he can go back into the kitchen and meet the guy who made this wonderful meal for him. And he had that interpersonal relationship. He talked to him for 5-10 minutes. He wanted to know what he was doing in life and if this is a starting block or this is what his career was. It's very important to have those social skills that you can talk to your neighbor, you can talk to the postman, you can talk to a business owner, you can talk to an owner of a billion-dollar company like UGG Boots. It's all tied in together. It's all the same skill. But you just need to have the confidence in yourself. You got to have reputation and you have good character. It's foundation for it. Tying into all of this with business, with how to make money. Everyone has heard the book, maybe you've read it, hopefully you have read it, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's all he's talking about. It's those interpersonal skills of being able to, how to win friends over, how to make somebody a friend within seconds, because that's what we know of psychology. People determine within 30 seconds whether or not they're going to trust you, whether or not going to be friends with you. It's all in their subconscious. We can't even control that. If we're trying to win friends and influence people, that is the art of persuasion. When we're talking about sales, we're talking about business, we're talking about making money, what do you have to do? You have to be able to persuade people into figuring out if they want to buy your product, if they want to buy your service. You don't have to try to cheat somebody into it. You don't want to confuse them. You don't want to try to do something unethical. You always have to have good character and good reputation. But you have to be able to persuade them to at least take the time and look over your materials. Take the time to read your proposal. Take the time to say, hey, yeah, I do want another meeting because I think this is going to be beneficial to us. When you're talking to a business partner, you're talking to a new prospective client, whoever it is, you have to be able to persuade them, and that is with your words. And so if you develop the right words, the right body language, if you understand human nature, you can understand their body language, you will do really well because you have to build up your social wealth so that you can have your monetary wealth, which is part of it. But you really got to be able to start with one. That'll lead to your confidence. It'll build great character and build great reputation, which will just further enhance your ability to get more clients. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
Is you is or is you ain't? Is you is or is you ain't? Is you is or is you ain't, my baby? The way you're acting lately makes me doubt. You is still my pretty baby, baby. But it seems the flame in your heart's done gone out. Now man is a creature that has always been strange. Just when you're sure of one, he goes and makes a change. Is you is or is you ain't, my baby? Well, maybe baby's found somebody new. Or is my baby still my baby true? Creature that has always been strange. Just when you're sure of one, he'll go and make a change. Is you is or is you ain't, my babe? Well, maybe baby's found somebody new. Or is my baby still my baby true? Is you is or is you ain't?
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, press the button below. And if you want to subscribe and watch us in future videos, press the subscribe button. You can follow us on other social media accounts as well. But have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.